I know it's away from today's topic, but kindly hear from you. Bon, ile mbona kwa tema politics ya mzanyi mwari funisha hatred. Cause wabosa ababa dipwaba napa dipo. Mbona kwa padibisha sana conflict. Don't hear from me. I know you have important to
Please go ahead.
In as much as there's been conflict between the two, I mean Mr. Hichem and ECO, that's the reason we are unable to progress as a country. So can we just find someone who's just so neutral who can address leaders? Because more than ever, Yakman about is it 4 years already, and then they haven't done anything yet. Then we have one, and then the only thing that they have to do now is that if we get a one say. About even because nobody call strong opposition so that they can bring the also. So you, Mr. Dad, if you got the heart for the Zambian people, can we just work together? Why won't we legit? Who talk about the hatred? Because hatred they lenga. One fish hatred. Now whenever I go lenga by hatred, and why it's garumba step bounce back in the if you were like to stand, we want to revenge.
To follow HH. It's true.
If that all is the country is not progressing in any ways. That's the reason that Chinese and others are taking advantage of us. Because our leaders are so they're fighting one another. So educate people in that manner, Bwana. Because not share it as a nation, Bwana.
Thank you.
And me who's calling you, I'm a youth and I'm an entrepreneur. I've seen this one to say there has been a network between the two presidents. So kindly speak that word to my fellow youth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Chilopia.
Yes.
I am Dr. Mlenga. I'm calling from Lusaka.
Yes, sir.
You know, Chilopia, you are laboring too much to explain a situation that is very, very straightforward. Don't sweat so much. If people do not have logic. The truth is, as you are saying, President won't stand for election. Not because he doesn't want, because the Constitution court does not allow him. Period.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
This is the Honorable from Mumbwa.
Yes, sir.
You know, Mr. Tari. Those who are busy pushing this year to continue, I think they just want to eat his money.
Hi lovely viewers, it's me again, your one and only Mutati Mpundu. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my channel, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting the red subscribe button down below and turn the bell icon to join the notification squad. Don't forget to like, share and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you lovely viewers.
Hello, Mr. Tayali. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you. Yes, sir. You're speaking to from within Lusaka.
Okay.
Yes. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Same to you. May God bless you and your family. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I just wanted to echo on the items that you have tabulated that are open for discussion. The first issue I wish to indicate, number one, I want to thank you for your advocacy and the voice that you have been very consistent on various matters of national interest, and particularly I just want to express my concern, especially on your EU10, on the issue surrounding the former head of state, and how you are lately coming out and trying to really question whether or not this man can be able to provide us the much needed leadership into 2026 and possible promotion of government. Yes, so my concern, I have followed your issues that you have raised, but I think my concern is how you have remained not very consistent, because not long ago you had so much spoken. I think shortly after Lungu left office, you were among those that indicated that Lungu was done. And later you came back and advocated so strongly that he was going to be the man, and you pushed even the Adewelalapo kind of agenda. And now you have gone back to where you were previously and still throwing some scorn on the same man that you were praising and indicating that he was a factor as far as the political landscape of the country is concerned. Now, for those that are following some political lessons that are happening in the country, you leave us wondering whether you're a man whose voice we can hear, because you keep changing your positions and we don't know what motivates these sudden changes in your positions, whether you really mean what you say or circumstances dictate on what you should support and what you shouldn't.
Okay, so thank you very much for that. Now, here is the thing. The problem that we seem to the problem that we seem to have as a country politically is that we seem to be taking a one-way route to say, if you are on bus A, on this route, it should just be that route. No matter what happens, you want to stick to that. For me, you people, a lot of people say, no, Tayari is not consistent because you don't want to look at the circumstances. Me, I look at circumstances. I don't look at who, I don't look at the party. I look at the circumstances at that point. Okay. And so, when you talk about what you said, soon after he came after, I campaigned against Edgar Lungu going into the elections.
Yes.
I campaigned against him.
Yes.
After he won, some months later, I went back to Edgar Lungu. I was one of the first people who were saying, Balungu, come back. Why did I do that? I did that because I realized that Vaakainde Ichilema was not going to fulfill the promises that he made. I realized that he was going in a different direction. And I compared between the two, Edgar Lungu and Hakainde Ichilema, who is better. I said Edgar Lungu is better. And I looked at how strong Hakainde Ichilema was, and he has even become stronger now. By that time, he was strong, but now he has even become stronger. But at that moment, I looked around who could challenge him. There was no one who could challenge him other than the previous person, which was Edgar Lungu.
Yeah.
He was stronger. So that's how I went to him to say, you are the only man that can fight. And you are the only man that can help us, to bring the opposition together so that, you can do a 5 years, bring us together, deal with the constitution, and then you can go out. When I went to him, at that point, he refused. You see, he refused. I don't want. Okay? I don't want. I don't want to do this. I've done my part. And so at that moment, what do? I had to shift to somebody else. That's how I went to Brani Mundubire. Brought Brani Mundubire, campaigned for Brani Mundubire, Chamba no kula ngo muliro. the brand Mundubile agenda, came out very strong. And then all of a sudden, other people came in and told me to say, Lungu wants to be president. And when we heard it, and Brian Mundubile heard it, Brian Mundubile said, no, this is my big man. I can't continue campaigning. If he wants it, I would rather he goes on. Even me, I agreed. So that's how I changed. Went back to Edgar Lungu, respecting him, to say, okay, Tabarech for now he wants it. Okay? And I started supporting him. From there, and I was supporting him, believing that, he can do it. He can do it, believing he can do it. But as we were fighting, going on, a lot of things have happened. Yes. One of the things that I can tell you is, first of all, did Balungu himself come out? Because yes, we went back to Balungu, we started putting Alewe. But you tell me, did Balungu come out strongly to claim that position that I want to come back? In my view, Balungu has not put up a spirited fight, an inspiring fight. He has not been charismatic to lead this agenda. That is one. Number two, in terms of resources, we have been lacking in terms of resources. This is how I ended up being stranded at courts with the lawyers and the charges. If you don't have money, it becomes you become vulnerable. Yes. Even when the police follow you, you become vulnerable because you need lawyers. If you have got lawyers and you are comfortable financially, it is different. What do your children eat? And remember that when each time I was arrested, I would stay in 4 days, 5 days, 8 days. How would my family survive? When you are supporting a political agenda, you should be able to listen so that you don't accuse me to say, why do you change? I'm explaining to you. So the financial aspect was also a problem. Okay? Fast forward, the eligibility case came in. And the eligibility case has come in like to put the last nail in the coffin. It has come in as a last nail in the coffin. And there is nothing that we can do now. So no matter which way you want to be consistent, even if you want to show consistent, to say, no, Edgar Lungu, at the end of the day, Balungu will not be able to stand. He will not be able to stand because we have been defeated on the eligibility. And I say we have been defeated because that case was political. And if it was fought back politically, maybe we wouldn't have been where we are. Going forward, I see Balungu to be very vulnerable. Very vulnerable. You look at the cases that Balungu has. Look at the cases that the wife has. I see a situation where some of his members of his families being jailed, including the wife, and possibly even himself being arrested. And when I look at him, I don't think he can handle that kind of pressure. Hence, I have said, let Balungu retire for his sake, for his family, and let somebody else come up. Because if Balungu had not come up last time when we were pushing for Mundubile, I'm sure by now Mundubile's name would have been all over. So as long as Balungu is still in there, whatever, any other leader will not come up. And by the way, I am not supporting anyone. I am not doing this for Mundubile. I'm not doing this for Brand, for Fred Membe. I'm not doing this for Kalaba. I'm not supporting anyone. I am simply saying, let Balungu retire and be restored as a former head of state. So circumstances make me take a position that I take. I look at the circumstances and I'm like, which way here? But you people, you just want me, no. Continue. Even when you have seen that circumstances have changed, you want me to continue. That is not the way I think things should be done, at least from my point of view.
Okay, I have appreciated your submission, Mr. Perry. I just want you to echo on the very fact that when Lungu was in retirement, we see very little that was done even to bring the sanity that is befitting for the former head of state who is in retirement. He was always harassed, always thrown off, and so many things were happening to his family, even when he was in retirement. And today, you still want this man to go into the retirement he's coming from. Even when he was in that retirement, there was no peace that was given to him by the state. And today, for me, it appears like he's been blackmailed that if you do not retire, then we'll come after your neck. And I don't think this is the way that we would love this country to be directed into. And when you come to the
wait, my brother. Hello, hello, just a bit. Let me correct one narrative here. One narrative here.
Yes.
President Edgar Lungu has never retired. President Edgar Lungu has never retired. And this is me being consistent, because even at some point I used to say he has never retired. When I was saying let him come back and assume that position as president, because he has never retired. Why do I say he has never retired? Yes, Edgar Lungu wrote a letter to cabinet that I'm retiring soon after. But that letter was rejected by PF. It was rejected by PF. And this is why at the Registrar of Societies, the name has never changed. The name has never changed. It has always been, even as we are talking, the legitimate president of PF is Edgar Lungu. So Edgar Lungu has never retired. He has always been in politics. And this has been a source of conflicts between himself and Hakainde Hichilema. Because Hakainde Hichilema, I want to assume that there was this agreement that you are going to retire and I'm not going to follow you. But since he didn't retire, Hakainde Hichilema has been somehow pressing buttons around Edgar Lungu, like forcing him to retire. Of course.
I want to bring out the official position, because cabinet confirmed that they received a letter of this man's retirement, and he was in retirement as far as they were concerned. And that's why there was even a heated debate when he announced of his return as to whether or not his benefits were to be frozen, because he was actually receiving those benefits, because on a record, official position is that he had retired.
Wait a minute. So let's listen to each other very well. Let's listen to each other very well and follow things as they are. I have said that he wrote a letter to cabinet to say, I'm retiring.
Yes.
And from my understanding, my reliable sources, I was not part of the meeting that was brokered between the former president of Tanzania and the RB, as well as the Hakainde Hichilema and Edgar. I was not there. But what I understand is that out of that agreement, that is how Edgar Lungu wrote a letter to retire. Okay? To retire. But he did not retire in his party. His party continued looking at him as the former head of state. And he himself could not come out. Did Edgar Lungu ever hold a press conference to tell you to say, I have retired? He never did. Now, you have spoken about a cabinet releasing that letter. Why did cabinet release that letter? Why did cabinet release that letter? Cabinet released that letter to say Edgar Lungu is being a double-faced. He's being double-faced. This man who is continuing posing as a president of PF, he actually resigned. Here is a letter. And that is why we are even paying him benefits. That is why we are even paying him benefits. They released it not because it was in cordial to show, They released it to show the hypocrisy on the part of Edgar Lungu. They released it to justify themselves.
No, I wouldn't agree with the word hypocrisy, Mr. Tayari. That was the reason why the cabinet released that letter, was to confirm to the public that surely this man was in retirement.
In what spirit, Baba? In what spirit did they release it? In what spirit? In what context, if you like? In what context did they release it? Did they release it to show that Edgar Lungu is no longer part of whatever? Or they released it to show that Edgar Lungu was being double standard? That is why they released it. They released it to show you that this man has not resigned from politics. That's why they even brought out the names from the Registrar of Societies to say, look, there is a letter here that he has resigned, but look, the records at the Registrar of Societies, they are still showing that Edgar Lungu is the president. We have a problem with this. That is how they released that. And this is why they kept on tinkering on Edgar Chagwa-Lungu, around Edgar Chagwa-Lungu. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Let's be realistic. And these are the facts. Let me take others. Let me take others there. I've responded to you. I've given you facts as they are. And these are the facts as they are. Facts as they are. He had retired. He had given in a letter. But according to UPND, and I know even at some point I brought up some of these issues, UPND, they have ever been complaining to say, this man wrote a letter that he has retired, and this is why we are paying him benefits. But he seems he's still playing politics. He's still, active in politics. He hasn't retired. This has always been an issue between UPND and President Edgar Chagwa-Lungu. This has been an issue. According to the agreement that they had, yes, a letter was written. But that letter was rejected by PF, and PF even came up to say, no, we rejected his resignation. So Edgar Lungu has never retired. Edgar Lungu has never retired. Never. And it has been a source of conflict from a long time. Hello?
Boss Mawamate. I know it's away from today's topic, but kindly hear from me. Bon, ili mbona kwa tema politics ya mzanyi mwari funisha hatred. Cause wabosa ababa dipwaba na padipo. Mbona kwa padibisha sana conflict. Don't hear from me. I know you have important to
please go ahead.
In as much as there has been conflict between the two, Mr. Hitchem and ECO, that's the reason we are unable to progress as a country. So can we just find someone who's just so neutral who can at least lead us? Because more than ever, young man about is it 4 years already, and then they haven't done anything yet. Them we have one, and then the only thing that they have to do now is that if they get a one say about even because what they call strong opposition, so that they can bring them also. So you, Mr. Tayad, if you got the heart for the Zambian people, can let's work together? Why won't you reject? Who took the hatred? Because hatred they lenga. One fish hatred. Now, whenever I went if you were like to stand, we want to revenge.
To follow HH. It's true.
If that always the country is not progressing in any ways. That's the reason that Chinese and others are taking advantage of us. Because our leaders are so far, they're fighting one another. So educate people in that manner, Bwana. Because not share it as a nation, Bwana.
Thank you.
And me who's calling you, I'm a youth and I'm an entrepreneur. I've seen this one to say there has been a network between the two presidents. So kindly speak that word to my fellow youth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello, Chilopia.
Yes.
I'm Dr. Mlenga. I'm calling from Lusaka.
Yes, sir.
You know, Chilopia, you are laboring too much to explain a situation that is very, very straightforward. Don't sweat so much. If people do not have logic. The truth is, as you are saying, President won't stand election. Not because he doesn't want, because the Constitution court does not allow him. Period. Oh, this thing about saying you're not, you are changing your position. Okay, this is what you want. When things are fine, for people to be thinking about he's going to stand, he's on the ballot, they are burying their heads in sand like an old tree. What to do now? An Ian Kama on HH. What Edgar Lungu needs to do, sure he opens when he moves out of it, so that somebody else.
Yeah, the line is quite bad, but I think we have gotten each point. Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
This is the Honorable from Mumba.
Yes, sir.
You know, Mr. Tari. Those who are busy pushing this year to continue, I think they just want to eat his money. Edgar Lungu can't come back. Because immediately you hear the way Edgar Lungu, it's all about how he used to steal, how he used to kill people. That man was supposed to be in jail. I think let me end there. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello?
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 Hello, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I'm Santos from Botswana.
Okay.
Yeah, with the step that we have taken up, the step is that's only the solution that you can prevent ECL. Reconciliation is the way to go now, because Edgar Lungu, former president, he cannot be just fighting while he knows that he will not contest any future election. For what? Let him just reconcile and resolve everything. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, it may look like, and some people want to think that I'm running an agenda for the UPND. I'm not running an agenda for UPND. I'm still, opposed to the UPND government. I'm still very much opposed to the UPND government. Except that, at the moment, I don't want to be so aggressively criticizing them. Okay, I don't want to be aggressively criticizing them. Why? Because I'm calling for reconciliation. You cannot be calling for reconciliation and you are busy dropping, terrible bombs. No, you can't do that. You need to relax. Hello?
President, how are you?
Fine, thanks. How are you, sir?
I'm okay, thank you. I am calling for the second time on your program.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to say, for me, I stand with you. We cannot insist on things that do not work. When we say that things are not working, we need to change course. That is actually common sense. Unfortunately, a number of my countrymen and women lack that common sense. They would rather stick to what they believe, even when it doesn't work out. Look, when you realize that what you are standing for doesn't work out, you change course, you go for an alternative plan. That will work out. The fact is that as long as our former president keeps being in the political arena, he's barring other potential candidates that can challenge President Hakainde Hichilema, and by so doing, he's indirectly benefiting the UPND. The UPND are very happy with their President Edgar Lungu's stance right now because he's actually giving them an advantage. People should not bury their heads in sand, Mr. President. President Hakainde Hichilema is a political heavyweight, and we all know it. As long as the opposition will continue playing to the gallery, let's forget about 2026. If people think that whoever Edgar Lungu is going to anoint is going to have an easy park, is going to have an easy walk in the park in 2026, they should forget. Otherwise, let the former president rest, let him reconcile with President Hakainde Hichilema. Some people, I heard some people saying the last time on this program, I heard the lady from Chilanga saying, President Hakainde Hichilema is very vindictive. And so what guarantee is there that if President Edgar Lungu reconciles with him, he's going to accept because he's very arrogant? All those are PF chaps. You know, one funny thing I find with the PF supporters is that they forget how they mistreated us. Today they are all angels. And everybody in the UPND is evil. But the same people in the PF, some of us, they chased us from our own country. Right now, as I'm talking to you, Mr. President, I'm also an economic refugee in another country. Simply because the PF chased me from my own country because of my tribe. You understand? So the PF thinking that they are angels, thinking that by demonizing UPND, then things will get better. Us, as ordinary Zambians, we have not forgotten. I'm not UPND. I have never benefited anything from UPND or from any politicians. I have not, but I'm speaking just as an ordinary Zambian. The PF mistreated us. The PF killed us. And for the PF to think that they are going to come back to power, that is daydreaming. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. There is a guy called Brian Musa on Facebook. He has written to say Tayali knows something. And I tell you, Brian Musa, I will be very honest with you that you are right. You are right. You are right. I'm not speaking from without. And I'm telling you, I am not here to speak for UPND. I'm not here to speak for UPND. I'm speaking for President Edgar Lungu. And one day, he will remember that the man that loves him, the man that is standing for him, it's me. I can assure you. Hello? 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 You know, nalikuwa intelligence, haka shupa. My intelligence is quite strong. Don't underrate my intelligence. Don't underrate my intelligence. My intelligence, yali wako rather, intelligence yani. Our intelligence is very effective. So sometimes when I'm talking about some of these things, mule ngumfu wako. Hello? 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 What's happening now? What's happening? My lines. Hello? Hello? Yeah, Shani. Hello? 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 What's happening with my line now? Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Dad.
Yes, sir.
Mudishan, boss.
Wina fashion name.
Awe, tilifia wino na chapa wakutaka kuonga kuliwa previous caller wafu mangurandati limelight to bakonkenya abantu kweba Edgar Lungu. Ile chitaba abantu wamewako watuwaisa within this time reach until 2026 akwati wa shaking akutuma votes to wenga chitabo gaza mama naka. And then the other thing is it's not just about Mr. Lungu endorsing someone. Ila constitution ba kwata ya probati ba convention ba sastana ba saro muntu ya precise. Thank you.
So on that issue of convention, it got disturbed because of Mao Sampa, but it also because of the dedaling of a PF. Remember, a PF, they kept on procrastinating, adjourning, and that's how Mao Sampa came in. Hello? Hello? Yeah, so the issue of that convention, Mao Sampa came in purely because of not being straightforward, not being transparent. But PF, they were not being transparent on that convention of theirs. They were diddy-dallying, and from my point of view, that diddy-dallying was as a result of, some hidden agenda which were, playing in the background. And at the end of the day, they lost PF. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Hello, Batayali Malishani.
Wina fem kashanma.
Batayali, I'm just following. I'm a message alelanda abantu kulanda wa Edgar Lungu kwati never victim. I think I agree with you, Kulandati, but Edgar Lungu needs to own part of this because nangu ukukonka apologies about Balandati HH has a hard heart. When you really look at it, Edgar Lungu hasn't actually owned up to a lot of things. I think the only thing that, in my recollection, is owned up to is what he perceived as amakadas. I don't think he's owned up on other governance issues. So, and later on, even if Chita complaining, our Kapokolashani and everything like that, he hasn't owned up to a lot of that thing. So, for people to expect that HHR Chita forgive Kwagulaba Edgar Lungu own up, I think it's a little bit too much. And then the other thing is that Edgar Lungu seems to want to have his cake and eat it. I think the mess that the PF is in, a lot of it now is because of his indecision. And PF has not been given a fair chance to run as a party. We are now going to the fourth year. That we should have even the loophole that was created by Uyu Mauzi Sampa Chakwebati, Edgar Lungu they provide leadership and clarity to say where his stance was. And as we would know, Gakuli vacuum, anything can fill the vacuum, and that is how Mao Sampa filled that vacuum. So I think even the cases that people are saying that Edgar Lungu is being victimized, I think people must ask to say that, are these cooked up cases, or are these cases that actually need answers? Because what we are seeing is that they are not being available to provide those answers. So are these actually legitimate cases where Edgar Lungu is she in court because it's a cooked up story, or whether it's a political story? But even if it's a political story, when we bring it to the test of the law, is it something that is true or not? Because I believe that if Edgar Lungu had honored his part of his bargain, I think some of these things could have been discussed off the table without coming to open. So I think, considering that there's a lot of skeletons that can be used by the UPND stepping down, I think reconciliation may be his savior, because abantu abale bachitasa around their papa no palino chitakatushi, how many of them will still be there. I submit.
Thank you very much, and I totally agree with this lady. I agree. You know, let's face it. You know, once you were in government and you come out, you know, it's very easy for government to find something that they can pin you on. It's very easy. And surely, if the situation is different, if Edgar Lungu retires, is no longer in active politics, I can see even some people like Teti Bachinje, he posted a comment to say, what guarantees do we have that, you know, he will be respected? I think at the moment, the best option is to withdraw and then start negotiating that. Because even if you say, no, we don't have the guarantee that he's going to be, they will let go of him, we don't have the guarantee. But then, what have you done? You have just escalated the situation. So we need to de-escalate the situation. And to de-escalate the situation is to let Lungu, you know, come out of politics. I know we can talk about rights and whatever, but unfortunately, these are politics. And these politics, like the previous caller has said, and the other caller also said, even the PF cannot just claim to be victims. They have got their own sins. Under the PF, we saw MMD brought down. I don't agree with my neighbors Mumba, but on the part of, you know, deregistering MMD, harassing MMD, I didn't agree with the PF and I spoke against it. So even by PF, you cannot say they were angels. Like that other caller said, he even left the country. I mean, they also did bad things. So we need to be very careful. Now, at this point in time, you continue fighting. What ammunition do you have to fight back? The best is reconciliation, like this lady has said. Reconcile, and maybe some of these things can even be discussed behind closed doors. And this is why I am calling on the church leaders to come in. The church leaders, this one is on you. Please help us. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Tayari.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes. Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Tayari. For me, this evening, the contribution is there are only two things here. It's either Mr. Lungu retires from politics completely for reconciliation to take place, or he continues into the politics. But looking at the way things have been, from the time that he came into politics, it's been now more than 1 year. There hasn't been any meaningful contribution that he has done to shaking the UPND to say, Chachi Nabarunga were politics.
That's
for me,
the issue.
That cannot work.
That's the issue, my
so,
brother.
So, again, for the reconciliation to take place, but Mr. Lungu should not endorse anybody, because for him to, if he endorses anybody, to mean that he still remains into politics.
Yes.
The same way it looked when he said he had retired. Meanwhile, his name was still appearing. So his colleague was still considered him as his competitor. So for him to say let's have this reconciliation, he should not endorse anybody, because by endorsing anybody, to me, he has to go with that person until we go for the election next year. That is my contribution.
I totally agree with you. The point that you are making there, I agree with you. Let's be realistic. Since Edgar Lungu came in to say, I've come back, what has changed? What has he done that we can say, no, Balungu no Mbabali Buela? What? Apart from him declaring to say, I've come back, but what has he done? Let's be real. What has he done?
For me, Nagatinda and the other guy with the given, I've been even more outspoken than Barungu himself, who came into politics.
Yes. Since he came, he has never held.
I don't think Barungu to post a page and I'm fighting. Nothing.
Eh?
That is my contribution this evening.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, let's be real. We need to be realistic. We need to be realistic. We need to face things as they are. What has Lungu changed ever since he came into I mean, like you say, came back?
Good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, how are you, Mr. Crucial?
Fine, thanks. How are you?
I think it's good to be right than to be consistent.
I like that one.
Because,
I like that one.
Because at times you can be consistent, you start doing wrong things.
Yeah. I like that one.
I also want to agree with the previous caller who is saying that I think Mr. Lungu, for me, there is no paradigm shift that he has brought to politics from the time we came. And I think our former president, I think, takes up a role of a statesman. Wallace probably has some people that might be crashing around him. I think the better. And I want to say this, that Mr. Tari, I agree with you in totality. I know at times you are accused of being inconsistent. I've tried to follow you. Yeah, of course there are times when you go overboard. But I think at times you choose to be right than to be consistent, which is correct. For me, I support it. Yes. I think Mr. Lungu, I think for me, I doubt that even if today Mr. Lungu has to endorse someone to stand as president of the Tonse Alliance or the opposition, I don't think that he can make a right choice. Yeah, so I think what is there for him now? I think let him swallow his pride. Like the other lady spoke, she said most of these cases that probably his family, the wife are facing, these are real cases. These are watertight cases. Yes, and he's been president. He understands and he knows the information that even the current president, the information that he sits on. Yes, so I think for me, for the sake of peace and the country moving forward, I think let Mr. Lungu just pass on the baton to whoever, but definitely Mr. Lungu, for me, is a spent force. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And talking about the cases, somebody's talking about the cases. Are these cases real or not? Unfortunately, those cases. Anyway, hello? Hello?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, good evening. Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank you for being neutral somewhere, somehow. And congratulations for being a senior citizen who is very patriotic. Just to touch on one or two things, let me say, I agree with you. And for me, my point is that President Edgar Lungu is a well-respected senior citizen, but the problem which is there is that he is an obstacle to the upcoming politicians and the opposition at large. Since the time we came back into active politics, there is, in short, vamene vashtika vakwevati, vonse ava politicians, the upcoming politicians, they do not have a voice because they've been obstructed. Yes, are you getting me?
Yes.
Yes, the upcoming politicians have been obstructed by a senior citizen by the name of who? Edgar Lungu. He has obstructed the upcoming and tangible good presidential qualities, they've been obstructed. Inasmuch they do not want to voice out to say, they know it. The internal part of them, internally, they do understand and know exactly that they've been obstructed. They cannot celebrate okay, eligible publicly, but the inner part of them, they understand to say, okay, now we are free. So, looking at time, we are heading into 2026. We should have in our mind Tiffany Konkala na alternative presidential candidate. Wakwebati olopetiri Tiffany koziva toke apa eche akangiwa but ali mu mind waiting afake nipa niwaso time yabalupia tenzoziva okay alternative president is Michael Sir.
Exactly.
Time of Edgar Lungu, yes. Time of Edgar Lungu, we used to know the alternative president is President Haga Inde Chilema. But for now, the alternative president is not there. Yes, the alternative president is not there. Reason being, the alternative presidents have been obstructed. Yes. That's my point, my brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I have seen Marco Jr. Marco is saying, this is just foolishness. Is Edgar Lungu holding anyone? Marco Jr. Marco, I can tell you, as one person who has been part of the UPND infrastructure and the opposition, I can tell you that a number of leaders are scared to campaign against the Edgar Chagwalungu, to go against Edgar Chagwalungu. This is just part of us. Edgar Lungu, let's face it, Edgar Lungu is respected. Edgar Lungu is respected and is loved by the members of the PF. So it is not very easy for somebody to stand up against the Edgar Chagwalungu. I mean, you can't be that rebel. Look at Mao Sampa. Look at how he was verified when he did what he did. Not that I agree with him. I don't agree with what Mao Sampa did. But a number of them, even as I'm speaking, a number of them, they are actually happy. A number of them, they are actually agreeing with me. I just mentioned, look at Mundubire. Look at Mundubire. Mundubire had gained momentum seriously. He had gained momentum seriously. But the moment he heard that, no, Edgar Lungu is interested, he just dwindled. He just went back. Of course, I as one of his strong supporters, I also went back. I know they are good. They are good leaders in PF there. They are good leaders. Look at Mutati Kafua. Mutati Kafua is a very strong, logical, very intelligent young man. And I say young man because he's a youthful president. He's a youthful person. There are a number of them. Look at it. Given Luvinda, please. Given Luvinda, and given Luvinda, I'm telling you, given Luvinda would have given HH a run. Given Luvinda would have given HH a run. You see him when he talks. He's intelligent. He has got experience. He has got the aura. He has got the charisma. I mean, they are leaders in PF, but now, to Bamoneka Kwati, they are not there because, I mean, there is Edgar Lungu. What can they do? So, what this guy is saying is actually true. It's not foolish by Marco Jr. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, yes.
Good evening, Mr. President.
Good evening.
We've heard your hura barus and your lamentations.
Yes.
Why is you are really puncturing the opposition. You are puncturing it. We could have negotiated a better deal than you know. And she follows you sometimes when I'm out for night duties. Sometimes in some Now you have brought division in this house now. He likes you very much. Bani mutemwe chine ati ola mulalandira babusu. Nomba if you mulerandi nomba ababusu nomba mwabika pesa. Evo bale ipsha nomba ababusu nomba bale wala byeswa landira abalandira aba inchushe eba leranda DCO alitemwe inchushe. Nomba tabale mfwa nomba nichitu nomba kolota bale tuwa nokwa kulola. So what's Rufia? Where are we going? Pray that you tell us so that we know.
So umfweni. If you're Mwalanda wino sana, and I know there are a lot of people that are broken. There are a lot of people that feel, what is going on. They're disappointed with me. But in them chishinka, fimwe fintu. Nga wafu na tifintu tapale oko fidea. It's better wafu ma you come out. Chimo nokwebati walira yo mwana kashukwebati nkakupa. Ero fintu na omwana tifintu kwena tafiweme on your side. It is not good for you konkanya kufe kulamu vepo mwana kashi ukobati yonka kupa but now ishwati fintu tafiri wino. It's better you come out. Inefo na chitapa. Valungu. Nshire salula Valungu. I'm not reducing Valungu kwa Valungu chavefi. Valungu is very good. Valungu would do much better than Vaka in the Ichilema. But apatufikire, it is not likely that Valungu can have it. So twikati defia bankashiandi twikati levati Valungu. Natu shono kushibati. Kuli eligibility issue. Eligibility issue. Yali waputura Valungu. Ero, ifika kwa bati, bakonka nyepo Valungu je wakawekata, nishchapwa. Ile wakawekata, nishchapwa tapale kwa wakachita. So, nomba tulea kuisa, echo ndela ndiloko bati. First, Valungu wafumepo, Valungu nga wafumapo, waliama leaders valia, aba iperesha, vala fuma. Ifiso Valungu po wali, bale tina, teti wafume, bale tina. So, nga Valungu waselapo, but ama leaders balafuma. We will have a leader. So let us just be patient. We will have a leader, and that's what I want. Because they took us a moment to what not to shwati. Tapadoko tulea. Oh, twikati dekofi awe. Let us allow him to rest so that he can even be safe, and let other people come up. And this is not that I'm supporting one person at Indefo you. 2026 Sireisa. I'm telling you, I might not even support anyone. I will go with one that will attract the people, one that will show courage, one that will show that he has got the capacity. Efo chilima yawandi, munyina, ndomberako uluse kuli bankashiyandi.
Alama lundo na pande nomba mamuleto bulanda munganda.
Iyo balondolo kwati nakushupa.
Otherwise tule mukonka, tule mfuata akali mbuta wale ati yori mbina babali piranje bera awe umukalamba we sudeti wa mulipira mbina bamulipira na bamupera kukandalama mukwaisha nyebera awe ama principles ena ali kwatayana na ali kukani nako yo. And
munyina on the issue of that you never mpirako kanono dionso fo balanda abantu inenga ngana yakuli Valungu mwale mona fo balanda pali irina le support Valungu bale batiyo Valungu bale musunga shanshani Valungu bakaputura support number what are they saying now because I mean inefo na unsunga nile samule beba na bankashi andi mubebe unsunga nile sandecho le sansungira ndande fishinka ndande ififuma kumutima kumwandi nangumpelo rupia na lapo ko rupia batinga nshikusuminemo I will say the things as they are apa inefo mbonefo kwa bati Valungu au tapali Filipo twali batemu abati tapali Filipo
au chitu mkwai chunguro mkwai na babombi mkwai
na totera na munyina na totera I mean, it's always like that. No, he has been paid. You can't control me. You can't control me. And I'm saying this, I'm looking in the camera. You can't control me. You can't give me money. and expect me to run your agenda. Mwe perefe telefone aba. Na la ludi afie. Nchi telefone defo aya. Hello? Hello?
Wabomba shanga mdala.
Mkwa shana imwe.
Mkwa. Alaifena chikuletero mwe solo to amfresa tubarumu na wakwekera ma politics. No. Wako selection ko. Webaranda kuna bena balungu webati. There are numbers of people who are support afena ngo bengalikira barade chipali cha PF. You know that man who in State House is very vengeful.
Yes,
Umunga vaingira ma politics ungware ingiro umunga. Remember tibali mutitepo tia gas akainde munga ndamwa. What makes you think that varungu tabakabachite kirapi? He's just waiting for the right moment.
Yeah, putukeo. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
How? Okay, we have heard what you are saying. Anyway, in some ways you are right, but my only concern is you are leaving those people. Some people are lying there. For example, there is a man who called from Mumba.
Yes.
He said that man killed. Yes. Some that lady also. So at one time you say cases are political and somewhat complicated, like houses, even guardians to say surely for 7 years can you fail to build those flats? Those are just even a common person can build it, but you just leave it like that instead of defending to the other side. When they pose those questions, you just leave them just like that. Yeah, so please, as neutral, try to advise, because the other side you are advising. When they come, they attack, you advise. Even that side, when they pose questions like, okay, they bring statements like that Mumba person. I think there is a way you can defend and you can.
You are right, my brother.
Only to him.
Hello, you are right, my brother. You are very.
Cases, yes.
Let me respond. You are very right that you know maybe in some of these cases, in some of these comments, I should you know respond or defend. And you are very right. What Bamungwa said, I ignored it because it was really extreme. It was really extreme, and I didn't want to engage. It was extreme. When others think of it, they just think of Lungu killing people. I mean, that was outrageous. So some of these things I may ignore because I know that really people will not take it. It is not. It is far from the truth. It is far from. The truth.
No. People might. People might get it, you know. When you leave it open like that, people might get it.
I agree. I agree with you. And going forward, I will try to. But I ignored it because I really felt it was outrageous. But you are right, and it's good. That's why this program is also good, because you are also able to respond to some of these issues. You see what I mean? It's not only me, even yourself. Like you have come up, you have responded. So, but anyway, going forward, I'll try to be careful. But then, let me finish on the issue of cases. I was talking about the cases. I have not changed. Some of these cases, and most of them, they are politically motivated. Especially these cases of, to say, proceed of crime. I mean, those are politically motivated. Those are politically motivated. But the point that I'm trying to raise is that, you see, when you are in this situation, government will not fail to find something that can look like. Something that can look like. And they can convict you on it. A good example is myself. I've been convicted of assault. I mean, who can testify?
Politically,
who can testify? There is no, this time, there is no even a picture to show that Yumukashana, Nalimu Mine, Ali Fimba. There is nothing. There is no medical report. But I've been convicted. I've been convicted. So some of these cases, much as they are politically there are some of these cases that might be very difficult to defend. They might be very, very difficult to defend. And I don't want to preempt so much, but there are some cases, I don't want to mention them here and there, but there are some cases that I can tell you that they might be very difficult to defend. And therefore, from my point of view,
we are human. We are human. Yes.
From my point of view, this is why I'm saying it's better Mwatashani reconcile quite like that lady. I agreed with her because she said some of these cases maybe we wouldn't have even known about them. Because it's true, my brother. When you are respected in society, even when you do something wrong, you know, people will find a way, they will try to engage and so on and so forth. These things are just there. So this is what I'm calling for. This is why I'm even calling the church to come in, so that some of these things can be discussed behind closed doors. Yeah, but
right.
Yeah, you make a point.
Thank you very much. My only step, my last words, I can conclude by saying, be careful those people who are just bringing open statements and give it. That people might be swayed to say this was happening and this is happening right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother. You make a point. Thank you very much. You make a point. No, he has a point. He has a point, because really some of these comments, they are outrageous to say, no, what they think is just Lungu was killing people. I don't think that is true. And yes, PF, they have got their own wrong. They did wrong things, but I mean, you cannot say UPND is better. You can't say UPND is better. For me, when Edgar Lungu was in power, I was arrested 3 times. Since Hakainde Hichilema came into power, I've been arrested 12 times within 2 years. 12 times within 2 years. Edgar Lungu was in power for 7 years. I was only arrested 3 times. Hakainde Hichilema, I've been arrested 12 times. So, I mean, from my point of view, you know, so even those of you who think that, no, I'm supporting UPND, I'm just being realistic. I'm not supporting UPND, and I've not gotten any money from anyone. Hello? Hello? I know, even those of you, you should know, you can never buy me. You can never buy me. You give me money, I will still do what I want. That's how I operate. So, if there is somebody who is thinking, no, we can give Tayari money, you give me money. You can only buy into what I agree.
Hello?
Yes, sir. How are you? Bueno, bunch.
My friend is pitilizane kukambana machechezi kuti alungu na echechi aite konsawa bagwizane. So awamekana kama opposite no ataile pana anapasa ndarama WPND anaita bwanja pana PF anapasa ndarama. Awano wa divide afuna kuda divide country, but mabizane kwamba so jabu bagwizane alungu na echechi. Osa kurera kukuwe pitilizane mtano.
Zikom. Zikom. And what this scholar has said, that is the agenda. And I can't do this alone. I need the church to come in. I need eminent leaders. You senior leaders, come in. And you people who are around Hakainde Hichilema, who are around Edgar Lungu, I am calling upon you to speak message of reconciliation. Let's bring reconciliation between the two. It is good for our country. It is good for our country. If these two can reconcile, I'm telling you, it is good for our country. You people, UPND, if they reconcile with Edgar Lungu, if HH reconciles with Edgar Lungu, it is good for our country because it will reduce on tension. We will reduce on the time that we spend arguing. It will reduce tension, and the peace is very important for development. Peace is very important to implement your policies. Peace gives, brings some patience in people. If people are always, arguing and aggravated by different situations, It's very difficult. It's very difficult. So you will benefit by ruling party. You will benefit out of the reconciliation. Now, by PF side, you will benefit out of the reconciliation because you will not have to worry about Edgar Lungu and what will happen and so on and so forth. I rarely take two calls from one person. I believe you called earlier. Hello?
Hello?
I believe you called earlier. I don't want to take two calls from one person in a program.
Now.
I just take one call at a time because I know there are a number of people that wants to call. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I'm quiet.
Mr. Dad, program wenu ile mfika wenu sana. Mkwaya and then issue ya yini mlera ndapoya nankani ya reconciliation ya abantu babiri. I think for me there is no problem kuri our current president to reconcile with our president Lungu. No problem ona samkumona ine kwati ba former head of state bali kwatakaraka influence ka kumfuira ma supporters babo na ma leaders ka mwamono fo yaba life fo yaba. It's about you and your family. Kutoa bati sometimes abantu bale kutumvya bale tashani but at the end of the day if intunga vya isa pena turamona sometimes abantu bako beka kode mwamona.
You know?
Umuntu bare kutashani bare kukai barungu bare bataye kare jako bati ama supporters babo fija baba bata influence ba yana bena batashani but from the look of things President Church muntu wako fati is a very understanding person. Atako watu barungu bali let's reconcile. I don't think HH can say no, it's very much willing. But from the video that we used to see per social media banga batagaza abantu barungu balenda uli wachunsulya now head of state sure nemwele uli wachunsulya are you sure umuntu mure muta provoke as a head of state dangu ni time bali wa president wa mdala wa former head of state pale mikonga batali mu ba mikonga kirikiti over two issues for talk about maybe we are addressing people on social media matafe kirikiti abantu bafika panganda for you to see those things but pamija whatever mita victimize and to be honest with you Edgar Lungu is not a person who can stand on his own kwebati bayina to let's fight at least politics yali ngai mwebere batali mwako bati mwadi mushapona maseozi several times
if what was am katina
kukosa ndangu ya former head of state awene balingira many times balikiremo na days kuna nikane katingo ukabura prison
124 days.
So can you imagine now if I can give an example stance ya mdala baba bura na ngulero lile balike msero is he going to survive for politics tekwe bati abana bakwe bachani gukosa and from the look of things mdala bafighira mu bantunga bayima abantu kirikitero makadda nga baba ta victimize baranda that time kwa jamaa nani kale kwa quite right that tukwali ati eligibility whatever ruling balandire pa social media we don't want to see a card wisa kuja kwani wanyandire ko rugasa kuja sometimes ama court proceed bale abeka bali beka wamona so some of these things abantu acha balanda tisa chinga kuongelesha abantu to take state suma because if into no pesa pena you find yourself alone na unua batali tabari kwa makadda wa PF wakwati but sometimes wale mkuja barandeni hivi batali batukareni batali when you are quite police you whatever you want to make again to transfer mo barande so if move into amdana because then ba mdana mo batali mo batakuna mbabo lande mulanda na bena kwa watu umuntu you cannot challenge him but mu feel role ali mu position apali mu power you sure just the time of him to think about it to say well, let's just reconcile with my friend I'm sure that it bakale no kana ba former head of state so amdana wera congress majority abantu aba 3/4 ya abantu abamuna nkani kumpati Yesu ya na PF 3/4 of them tabata nankani kati sikulu n'obwino then nga moderation nangu apana tumfabalira ndati bamdana n'abatali apiwira nankane kuri ba constitution clerk kinga ne ba crime court barusambu balirira ku police ku prison but time mare kuguna nkane ko bale batuvya makada shan but the bambo kulira lombolo bamona lombati bali kwa family no I've got family I'm a breadwinner nambanga aba breadwinner how many breadwinners are being there in prison teba breadwinner bekaba bamwabo nabe abo bali nabandi mulya so kukosa 50 kwa fati bako bachali kikirike amwe bulldozer amwe chali bawabika mukati lombolo bamugala ati defa bamfumye because amwe breadwinner ba breadwinner benga bali ku prison kula benji tebekawe
Yeah, no, thank you, my brother. Fishing for Aranda. Look at Mdala ba GBM. My GBM is sick, you know. He's inside. I really feel bad. Look at, my brother Kampiongo. The wife is inside, you know. And what is everybody else doing? What is everybody do? What are other people doing? Look at Shtotela. Look at Ntwankane. Nijele pamunove. Hello? Hello? Empire.
Yeah, sir. Good morning. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, Mr. President,
Hello?
Yeah, Mr. President, yeah, so Memogamba Bokulamba, Mboli Semato you was it out. Mama had this Ramata. So Brimogamba Wambabuchi, our Vandurandiga woman, about Iruman. We don't this is as under the one of the come. We say what you have done, and Maruka number one several Tuji, Tujikamagura, or not to clear which I had, so you answer Babus Wanga. So I will mean about about to turn the end, I read about Windamuru and whatever to women about Twarumba.
Twarumba, Vasa, Twarumba. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, yes, Mr.
Yes, sir.
So I just wanted to say the two parties reconciling is a good thing. Because if you play politics with the UPND, they also play politics, which is what is happening here. Politics is a dirty game, okay?
Unfortunately.
I'm sure even as an individual, you have the resources. You wouldn't want an opponent to beat you. If it means playing dirty, you would play dirty also. So if Edgar Lungu, if we speak on we just isolate Edgar Lungu alone, we can allow these other guys to play politics. But with him, with a status of the former president, there is a lot that he can do. All these trips to Zimbabwe, other outside missions to represent Zambia, he can be going to represent the country there. But that comes when someone puts down those boots, your politics. The moment you put on your combat your politics, bazangena mu combat your politics wanzako. So if he puts down that ambition your politics, I'm sure even the stance your government will change the way they will handle him. He might be considered as an asset also
because they are also desperate to have that image of goodwill, because he knows he has influence.
Yes, it's true.
He has influence, a lot of it. So putting him in good books would also be good, like you've said, would also be good for the ruling party. It will also be good for him, okay? It will also allow these guys to be seen as, neutral players playing their politics. They will be understood like that. Okay, these guys are playing politics, and they'll be treated like that. At times, as an opposition party, play a long game. You've seen by UPND, they've been in opposition for how many years? Because definitely we knew even if they did what and what, they wouldn't win in 2011 against SAT. So if they play a long game, there will come a time also that until their influence, no one will contend it. They will be back in power. That is just my contribution. But for Edgar Lungu, let him consider going that route. Let him be an asset to the country. He has his own connections also that the whole country can benefit from. Sure, that's my contribution.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that is just the truth, That is just the truth. If you are wearing a political combat, if you are a soldier, you are a soldier. But if you are a civilian, you are a civilian. Even in war, when civilians are attacked, people complain to say, no, you attacked, innocent civilians, innocent men, women, and children, because you are a civilian. But a death of a soldier is not a surprise or is not an injustice. A death of a soldier is not an injustice. And when you talk about politics, unfortunately, all these things that we go through, they are just part of politics. You just have to fight back. Even me, I do understand. Of course, I have to fight. I have to fight, and I have to do whatever I can. Even coming here and being here, it's just part of politics. It's just part of politics. That's why you see me. I'm here in exile, but I'm still talking because I know I don't have to give up. I don't have to give up. If you are going to be just crying, no, me, whatever, no, do what you can to fight back. And for me, that's what I do. I fight back. But I'm fighting back. I've never been a president before. I'm still young. Yes, I'm not very young. 50 is not young. But at least I have something. I still have the energy. But Balungu, no. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Fatari, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you. My contribution to this issue, as much as people want to hate you, the truth is, let us be real. Edgar Lungu inherited the party that was already in power, and the person that was ruling, and the person that won the election was Sata himself, who even did not use any alliances. He just won single-handedly. Now, Edgar Lungu, bali staff inherit chintu with Nakari Chari, whether about Chiponya no Chiponya. Surely, for a man, kwa jamani. Namutati tontonkanya kubena Zambia. Can Edgar Lungu run the party? Because it's a sunga PF, Ngamaisa Kuli, and stay about. Yeah, PF. They were just using money because people associated themselves to Edgar Lungu because of money.
Yes, because of power.
Without the money, Chaliko. Yes, because of power. Now that he has lost the power, I'm telling you that the confidence from the Mwabarisha, they are thinking he has got money and they are thinking supporters bambi ero bayabatwala bakukira kuri be. They're just opportunistic. So inefe mulera mwe bachifa tayari kuba tawe aba bantu batushe chachi ne babiko ba statesman tule bafaya babiko bakwate ko muchinji natozera mkwaya.
Thank you. Hello. Hello.
Bakayari, good evening.
Good evening.
God bless you. I know you. No politics there. Though people are neglecting you, you are not someone, but you are not a courage and you're the influencer. The point which I can just raise here. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, the point which I can raise here. I've heard all your broadcast.
I've lost that one. At ECO won't retire. If you want, come back to Zambia, then he will retire. Now, Vantuani PF, you are the one now calling for me to come back. And you know, calling me to come back is to me to go to jail. You want me to go to jail. Before it was by UPND, come back, so that when I come back, I'm arrested. I'm not coming back. I will not come back. I will not do. I will not do. And some of you think that, no, I'm doing this so that I can come back. I'm not coming back. Hello?
Yeah, I don't know if
yes,
I can come back.
Yes, the line cut. Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Tayari, thank you for the job you are doing. You are just giving the man help, the advices. And to tell you the truth, my brother, you are even.
Yeah, the line again has cut. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Out of jealousy, out of favor, advise the old man to retire in a peaceful manner. The big man doesn't have what it takes to fight the system. When Edgar Lungu, without doing him a favor, they're busy. I don't know whether the system is playing when the big man is active politics is concerned. But the first home office was supposed to advise the former president. Humbly just stay away from politics as it is. He did his part. 7 years was enough for him, boss. Your advice is more than enough, at least for a brother, for a concerned brother, like for the interest of his own good. If you cannot say it, God knows you've done your part. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you very much. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you? Happy New Year to you.
Fine, thanks. How are you?
Okay. So thank you so much for everything you've been sharing. First, I want to tell you that sometimes how things are is to let them be the way they are. God has the final say to every matter. Sometimes us we may conclude all things are going to be in this way, but at the end of the day, no matter what human being might speak, we might judge, we cannot be the best in as much as we are on the ground. But God always has the final say. God knows He cannot let people suffer in the way things are now. Let's wait, 2026 is around the corner. Let's see what God is going to do. If God is going to point someone, from the opposition called these alliances, it means that is going to stand no matter what people might fight. But God has the final say. That's what I can say, in as much as we can talk all these things, but let us remember that God has the final answer. Thank you so much, Mr. Tayari.
Thank you indeed. God has the final answer. God knows where we are going. God knows who is going to be president in 2026. God knows who is going to be president after Hakainde Hichilema. God knows when I will be president. Indeed, God knows it. You know, so some people are talking about 10th January, there will be judgment. I'm a political asylum seeker, and I've been granted asylum. So those issues, they don't bother me. They don't bother me, and they won't change anything. Of course, I will discuss that later. And to those of you who think that, no, I'm taking this because I'm looking at these cases and because I want to come back, no. It's not about that. Forget it. It's not about that. I've got my own plan B, and I'm going with my plan B. I've got my own plan B, and I'm going with plan B. Plan B knows when I will come back to Zambia. Plan B knows what I will be when I will come back to Zambia. So those things, they don't bother me. I am okay where I am, and I can stay here even for 20 years. Even for 20 years, I can stay. I am not dependent on who I am not. As far as staying here, I can stay. I can have my cup of tea. I can have my banana. And I have my internet. I have my nice apartment. I am okay. Even my family is okay. So I am not bothered. It's you, hey, Shani, what court cases? Hey, he wants to come back. I am not bothered by those issues. I am not bothered. I am not bothered. You should know that. I thank God. I thank God that He has looked after me, and He continues looking after me. I am grateful to the people that that have helped me. Those that help me, I am very grateful to you, and I ask you to continue helping me, not because I say something that you like, because I try to stand for what is true, for justice. Hello?
Uncle Andy Batat.
Emkwa.
Yes, Uncle Andy Mabombe.
Emkwa Mabombe.
Murera Ndanawa Soni Talusaka. Uncle Andy no poninga shita contribute yakwe bati. Ngawa umo muntu wa muchena. Olo wamona na kwachama medical report yakwe bati kusaka kukakisha. Wewe wakupapata ni wewe because walaba se chifuba olo wayamukupapata kuri family yako bakushove. Ocho refu achakwe bati mala nduyi yakupoti kuria. So apofo benga chitaba former president besu. Ono bapapata baba konka geni bena kwikala fezi kyo barefu ayachakwe bati imirandu wanu noto baba pera kubana shikabwera shikapwamu neshisha aba fyashi besu ba Edgar Lungu shiresha nyoto kashonse shirya kweba pesista wamwati kakifutishe because nishibaba mona bana ka nomba benanga baba namaka tukayapwira nishikukoti iyo gochi turera ndanishibarerwa n'obuteko mwamona nko olo chindi mwebe n'ababeni abayiche bare bompyo kutuko obuteko namumona uli abawishi barebira ku Kenya uli omwayiche bachitira abduct ino ni Africa ama politics ya mu Africa yalishuka ka
So ababa ishena vena vachenjeri avava amaitsi
I think let's avoid that. Let's avoid that kind of talk. I think that kind of talk is not good. I think that's what that other gentleman spoke about earlier on. I mean, we should not, pontificate wrong things. Yes, we know it's politics, but we should not pontificate it and to make it look like it's normal. No. What is wrong is wrong. Anyway, I think we are done here. Some people are saying, your numbers have dropped. I am never here to get numbers. I'm here to give what I believe is true. I'm here to give what I believe is justice. I'm here to give what I believe is in the interest of the country. Whether I lose numbers or I gain numbers, that is secondary. That is secondary. And I know that I have not lost numbers. I have not lost numbers. It is like a season. My page, I've been through this. I mean, I've been running social media for a long time. So I've been through this. Sometimes, yes, people will be very frustrated. They go away. But tomorrow there will be an issue. They will come running to this page. So I'm not bothered. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, this is my second time to call you.
Okay.
I called you, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Regarding Edgar Lungu and my suggestion and what, and I asked you about the plan B. Then you told me, no, plan B, we can't disclose or you can't review and what. Then, things have changed. And equally, that was my suggestion to say, can we have Edgar Lungu rest? Because the Concord had already ruled like a final judgment to say, no, Lungu will not be on the ballot in 2026. So my suggestion was that, can we have someone? But because, the PF is divided, and we might not even rely on PF, because PF has already been destroyed. If you look at even Chitaru Sampa, Dr. Chitaru Sampa has already...
Chitaru Chirufya.
Oh, Chitaru Chirufya, yes. Initially it was with the UPND moving with the president. Now we went to Mansa and declared that he wants to stand. So they are just using him because he has, those cases that were behind, that they can't be followed if he's with the UPND. So those are all in Mingalato, just to finish up the PF. Because they failed with the Sampa, then Chavinga and what. So PF is almost gone. We can't be talking about PF and what. So what we need to do, that's what I was saying, we need to strategize to see how best we can float a candidate that Edgar Lungu can support, and then everyone who is sympathizing with the Edgar Lungu can follow. But I'm not saying that Edgar Lungu should pick. He shouldn't handpick anyone. Because the alliances we have, the Tonse, the Ukwa, are just like a baby play game.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get your opinion on it. Do you think we have any viable candidate that can float over?
Look, I've already stated in the program. If you have been following me, I've already stated in the program that
I joined later.
Yes, so
Actually,
I've already spoken about that, and I've said that there are a number of leaders who can take up the mantle of leadership in PF, and even putting all the opposition together. They are there. For example, I was giving an example of Given Lubinda. Given Lubinda has been holding PF from the time that they lost elections. And I think if he was really in charge, some of these things wouldn't have happened. The problem is that, Given Lubinda is only brought in for firefighting. When things are hard, that's when Given Lubinda comes in. But really, I wish he was given the mantle. I mean, there are other people also like Mutati Kafwaya, very brilliant man. You see how he submits in parliament. Very good man.
But
Binwell.
Dealing with
Binwell.
Binwell Mpundu, yes.
Yeah, there are many. Even what is this? These others in the opposition, they are there. So they are there. People are there. The only thing is that Balungu need to make that decision to step aside to allow a person to come up.
Now the thing is, because the PF has a constitution that allows anyone to float as a president, they have to go for convention. Now, do you think in this status of the PF, can we have that as a legitimate?
Let me say
because
this.
They already
wait. Let me say this. I've heard your point. Let me say this, and I want to say it, straight, that the situation of PF is as a result of the poor leadership. The situation of PF is as a result of poor leadership. If a good leader comes up, I'm telling you, Chavinga would not be a problem. Mao Sampa would not be a problem. If, for example, myself, and I can tell you, if myself I took up the leadership, there is no way I can fail to convince Mao Sampa, to come back to the fold. There is no way I can fail to convince even this other guy, Chavinga, to come to the fold. It is the situation as it is due to the bad leadership that is there. That's why. Otherwise, these people are not a problem. Why did Sata manage them? Sata managed to pull all of them together. Why did he manage? They were in opposition before.
Yeah,
and Sata put them
but
together.
there were no such a division,
Yes,
like we have now.
Because there was
where
a leadership.
Everyone has the authority to become a leader of the party, which he never founded.
There was leadership.
Leader, so
Our father is not leadership. Anyway, thanks very much, my brother. Thank you.
No.
Yeah. I'm telling you, there is nothing difficult about sorting out PF. PF can be sorted out. So PF can be sorted out even if Hakainde Hichilema will be holding on to that certificate. But if the leadership is there and it is aggressively working, I'm telling you, PF can be put together and Hakainde Hichilema can remain with his certificate in his hands. But so far, I mean, nothing is happening. Anyway, we are closing on Mukosa tonight. Hello?
Hello. Good evening, Comrade.
Good evening, Mukosa. We are going to close on you. So make good submission so that we close on you.
Like I always do.
Let's go ahead.
So I think I just want to answer your two questions. You said what will happen if Edgar Lungu was going to lose my election after Washaindo's Mutwinango. There's nothing that will happen with Edgar Lungu. If he wants to continue embarrassing himself like he is doing today, he will continue. And the other one, you said, Nangawazana Karawa statesman of branch. Panaka Oromanje, Edgar Lungu, according to what he did to this country, is supposed to be a statesman.
but he refused. Leka, you remember when he was at Kabata police? When the policemen tried to give him that respect he deserved to say, but former head of state, can you do this? Former head of state could, he refused. So what do you want people to do? What do you want the government to do? No, be a statement, be a statement.
Okay.
No.
Thank you. Thank you, Mukosa. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
How are you, Mr. President?
Fine, fine. How are you too?
My contribution this evening, I just want to find out your relationship with the funding. How is it?
We
think that this project has taken over, has shaken the process. How is the relationship? That's my question. Thank you.
My relationship with everyone is as good as it has always been. That is my response. My relation with everyone is as good as it has been. We can have political differences, but my relationship with all my friends is as good as it has been. I've not quarreled with anyone. I've not quarreled with I've not differed with anyone personally. We have differed on political point of views, but in terms of our relationships as friends, as brothers, it's still the same. Thank you. Anyway, let me end here, and I say thank you very much for following the program, and thank you very much for those of you that have called in. Thank you very much for those of you that have been making comments. I appreciate. I've seen also there, I've got a number of comments, in the inbox here. I'll take my time to read them. And where need be, I will respond. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. May God bless Zambia, and good night.
Alright, that's all right for you today, lovely viewers. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about the video you just watched in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you, lovely viewers. Once again, I go by the name of Mutati Mpundu. I love you, peace, I gotta go.